Hey, and welcome to my review of patch 7.3. As speaking, I currently got, the floor, well, as you see, floor 41 of the Deep Dungeon, and I also got the Arc Build Trial done, but haven't stepped into the Extreme. So this has come to that review a few hours in to just give my first impressions of that. And impressions I do have. Outside the content release cycle, I feel that in almost every aspect, Dawntrail has been a slam dunk, and patch 7.3 is a continuation of that feeling. I've always been a fan of deep dungeons, but because of their nature and time commitment wise, I have never really truly committed to completing one. I've gotten to floor the behemoth, the really hard one on floor 180 of Past the Dead, and I've gotten pretty far in record those. But me and my friends at the time, we would just die and not want to do it. I feel that Pilgrim's Traverse has solved that issue. Mainly with the checkpoints, it's much easier to get into it, and in general the content feels a lot more accessible. While not also trivializing it, it really does feel that the Deep Dungeon kind of built upon what was good about the previous ones, while getting rid of all the annoying factors. And I almost feel that by doing so is creating a much better experience for me going in, as well as for new players, especially new players. And I'm very excited to solo this one. I also did not expect, because Deep Dungeons, while they do have lore and story to them, I didn't expect to care about the story of this one. And I won't go into detail because of spoilers, but there is some interesting Shadowbringers lore, especially with some certain characters. And if you're a fan of Shadowbringers, like a lot of people are, and especially of Ilmeg and its themes, I highly recommend that you try out the Deep Dungeon, at least the floor 30. After that, it seems the story aspect slows down and becomes a lot more of a traditional Deep Dungeon. Which, love it or hate it, Deep Dungeon is still Deep Dungeon, and it's gonna be deep in the dungeon. That wasn't the only thing that released this patch. We also got Arc Build. Now, at some point, I should 100% do my own review of the Monster Hunter Wild side of the collab, because I did defeat a Atlantis and his Savage equivalent, and I had a blast. But that definitely needs its own video. So I will simply just talk about the Monster side for now. The 14 side for now. Wrong game. I really do feel that Arc Belt, while not as interesting and fun as a Mega Plantis, although maybe the Extreme changes my mind on that aspect, it was an extremely fun trial that felt fresh. It is a bit too repetitive at points, but that's just 14's design, and part of me wishes that there were less AoE tells, but I understand why they wanted to avoid that with how annoying Rathalos can be at times. It definitely feels that the AoE tells are not necessary per se, but are more added in to help players that need it. Because often, if you're seeing the AoE tell, it's very too late, and you're definitely intended to focus more so on his self, like his animations and boss tells. And yeah, I'm not a fan of mostly how the weapons look. They're kind of a lot worse than I expected. I did like some of them, like the Red Mage is personally my favorite because they turned the lance into the Red Mage rapier, and then they made the focus the lance shield. That was cool. But for me, I knew I wasn't going to like the weapons. I wasn't a fan of most of Arc Belts, maybe besides the gun lance, but I think the gun lance, the Gurn Spear I did get because it does look cool. But I'm not a fan of the Arc Belt weapons for the most part. Kind of wish it would have made sense, but part of me wishes because of those Shio weapons, but I really do love those. If they added the Zoshia Greatsword, I would probably use that as part of my main Dark Knight glam. However, the fact that now we got such pretty weapons from Pilgrim's Traverse, I don't mind it. I hope going forward that every normal trial has a weapon coffer and that this isn't just a one-off thing for Arkfeld. It would be genuinely good for the community. It would increase replayability of normal trials while also encouraging people to go into Extreme and augment them. And it would honestly solve a big issue that item level is so tightly guarded behind Savage, and I would love to see item level expanded more throughout the game to sort of increase sort of encourage horizontal progression within Final Fantasy XIV systems. I don't think 14 having more options to get gear is necessarily a bad thing. It gives us more things to play, gives us more things to do, and allows more players to get item level, which I think is a major criticism of 14 as a whole. That item level is often locked content that not a lot of the player base does. And I really want more content like Alliance Raids and like Arcville, which gives players higher item level weapons. And yeah, I think that'd be awesome to keep on doing that. The rewards for Arcville are kind of disappointing, especially the fact that we did not get an Arcville mount. I'm pretty sure the mount is, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the mount is just the Calicos, and that's disappointing. I don't know if there's an Arcville mount somehow. Maybe it's a drop from the Extreme. Maybe that would be cool, but I doubt it, and I doubt it. And if it is, I'll take back the statement. But overall, I think that 7.3, and especially with 7.35 added to it, is definitely looking to be my favorite Final Fantasy patch. It's beating 6.4, started in 5.5, so I cannot speak for Bree and Walker. But I can say that compared to what I have gotten, 7.3 is looking great. I love the MSQ, love both the trials, good amount of content. Diana's fun, although I'm not much of a crafter, and the deep dungeon is likely to be my favorite piece of content in Dawntrail, at least so far. I kind of wish that they saved Fork Tower Blood to release at this patch too. I think that would have been a smart idea that if they had a Fork Tower normal and then Fork Tower Blood normal, then a Fork Savage that would release now, I think that would have helped. Because honestly, the fact that we're not gonna get new content for, I don't know if deep dungeons for Foray until 0.55 really is gonna suck. But yeah, that's really it. I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.